All right, guys, welcome to the Rap Sleep Repeat podcast number one. That's actually two. Number one, we got Cody here from Limitless Designs, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Limitless
there,
Auto Designs.
there we go. Cody, tell me, how did you get started? Why raps?
Well, it was something that I always wanted, I always wanted to do it on my personal vehicles, and at the time, I couldn't really afford how to do it, and it was something that I started small. There was someone on Craigslist selling like a roll of carbon fiber wrap, like completely unbranded, for like $25. And I bought that and I just played around with my hood and stuff. And I never really, there was one night me and my dad, we were trying to wrap the roof on one of my cars and it never came out right. And then a couple of years later, I ended up picking it back up because I had a buddy that did it and I kind of paid him to do it for me and show me how to do it. And from there, I kind of just went on and on and on to really enjoying the work.
All right. So, how long ago was that?
That was basically the beginning of the year. So
Okay.
Still relatively new. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So you're only about a year in.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. This time last year. Yeah.
Okay. So are you going full time or is this a part time?
This is something I just recently went full time with. I was still working part time at another job up till about a couple weeks ago, but
Awesome.
now it's been
That's
full-time.
great. Where are you based out of?
We're in Tucson, Arizona.
Sweet.
Tucson.
Favorite rap that you've done? How many raps have you done? What would be the favorite one out there?
Full car, I'm on my 17th, I believe. I've done a bunch of partials. Full cars, I think this is the one that I told you I was working on, that fade wrap, that printed one. That's 17. My favorite, probably either the one I'm working on now with the Suzuki Cappuccino or we did a GTR, and that was kind of like a sponsored wrap. It was an R32 GTR, and it was white, and we wrapped it midnight purple. It was an Avery color, but it was it's almost perfect to the midnight purple 3. So that was probably one of my favorite ones. That was a really unique project. I really enjoyed that one.
Nice. So what do you mean by sponsored?
That was one that we did for this guy. Basically, he kind of paid for the materials. We did the wrap, and then he's been posting us. He comes with us to shows, things like that.
Sweet. So you sponsored the wrap. It wasn't for a brand or anything like that.
Yes.
Okay, sweet. So what do you find that is the most fun part about a wrap? What's the most enjoyable thing to you?
The most enjoyable thing would probably be that even though it's all basically the same, once you get the techniques down, you're kind of just going through the same motions for each panel on a car. It's always different based on the div. This car has paint fade and you're trying to cover it up and you're trying to make it look good even though it's bad condition underneath, or just different cars you get. I really enjoy the fact that it never feels the same, even though it always kind of is the same ideas.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay. When you started, did you go out and buy just a ton of tools? Did you buy just the basics? What was your go-to to start?
My go-to. So the first car I did was my own, obviously. Yeah. And then I was using my dad's Harbor Freight heat gun. I went out and I bought a couple razors, and I think I was honestly using it was just a regular Amazon blue squeegee.
Yeah.
Because he had at one point bought tint or something and it came with it. Yeah. I was using that. And I might have bought a couple of the mini tuck tools on Amazon, but truthfully, I really didn't go out and buy much. It wasn't until recently that I've started continually stocking up, alcohol, lifeless tape, a better heat gun, different razor blades, different razors, a bunch of different squeegees, gloves, everything like that. And a glove was honestly that was one of the most important things that I never realized I knew I needed. But
here, we'll do a fake sponsorship. Rap Glove, Ghost Gloves, the official, non-official, official sponsor of the Rap Sleep Repeat podcast.
I've been wanting to try one though, because I see them all the time. But the one that I have right now, I had a cheetah wrap one, and then I had an off wrap one.
Okay.
I've been wanting to try that.
The best.
Yeah.
You will not beat the Rap Glove. This isn't paid. I'm not getting paid to say this. You will not beat the Rap Glove. When I tried a bunch. I've been using a bunch of other things before I went to the Rap Glove.
Okay.
Yes, I get them for free, but I don't care if I get them for free or not. I would use them, whether I had to pay for them or not. I also have a bunch that we've paid for because we sell them on our website. So
I'm gonna order some then.
So yeah, we have these guys and we love them. partnership with them is amazing. Tom is an amazing dude. And they are the only wrap glove that is specifically designed for wrap, made in USA.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So there's a little fun fact for you. What's next? Like, moving forward, you just started going on your own full time. Is it just you? Is it a partner? Is it like what's your goals going into 2025 for your business?
So it is just me. I've been fortunate enough that, growing up, me and my brother, we were kind of taught a bunch of stuff with cars, and that was kind of like our upbringing, because my dad's into all the same stuff, and
Nice.
he has a shop that was added on to like land on the house, like as of recent last few years. So I've been fortunate enough to not like need to run out and go jump to get a shop or anything right away. So it's been nice kind of being able to grow that way and being able to like have like a nice area with like a lift and everything like that you would really need. The goal would always be to, have my own space and kind of exponentially grow from there. I don't know if that would be, within the next year or two, just because it's not really like a necessity right now, because it's not like we're doing stuff outside or anything like that. But just to be able to continue to be able to do this full time and just see where it goes is my main goal right now. Yeah.
Awesome.
Because it's going very good. Yeah.
Sweet. So what's your main way of getting jobs?
A big majority of it is social media, like Instagram, things like that. My best advertisement that I've ever done, because I've tried a lot of different stuff like Facebook, Google, Instagram ads.
Yeah.
The best thing is honestly having my car wrapped.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the majority of the people that call me just randomly are like, oh, hey, I saw this car on the road. And then, I wrapped my fiance's car, and we have advertisements on hers, and just that. Cause I mean, everyone sees the car and everything. So that's probably the best. But I do a lot of like, I guess you'd call it like cold calling, but just like all the people in town with cool cars see on Instagram, like, hey, love your car so much, this, that, and the other thing. I own a wrap shop. I'd love to work with you. That's been a great way of finding jobs too. Just like reaching out to people and trying to make a connection that way through cars.
Sweet. No, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I always wonder, like, how does everyone else, because
Yeah.
I actually don't run my own shop, right? So I work at a shop. I'm the shop manager, lead installer, and then I run the wrap showcase.
Yeah.
So I don't actually get my own jobs mostly. I get some, but mainly I just let sales guys get the jobs.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to me to see how other guys are getting them, even though I'm also helping people get them online.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. So I did get certified with Avery Dennison. And I feel like that's kind of like a controversial topic, just because I feel like a lot of people that are working at shops are like, man, you don't need it. No one cares. Like, and I mean, I think it's kind of up in the air, because I feel like the biggest thing when you have your own business is that a lot of clients see like, oh, Avery or 3M certified, and they kind of like see that first thing that no one else has.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes to like just another little thing in their mind that's good. I think if you're going down the route of like wanting to work at a shop forever, if you have the experience, I don't know any shops locally that require a certification. I also did an Avery Dennison training, and I did learn some helpful tips when I was just starting out. I think it is worth it for certain things. I'm actually doing a PPF training with them beginning of next year. And I personally think if you're on your own, it is worth it for a couple reasons. Because now I'm on their page. When people buy wrap from there, if they like find an installer, like I'm the only one in Tucson. So that was a really unique thing to have as well. But I think that was something that I was going to bring up, just because it's like I hear everyone's like, no, it's a waste of money, this, that, and the other thing, and I think it's worth it. But
I think it goes both ways. I think you can spend enough time learning it on your own, or getting just tips from other guys and asking guys and asking around. But you can also pick up a lot of good things from a course. I think there's a lot of great tips that you can get from a course, especially if you go to multiple different courses. I personally actually don't have any certifications. I've been doing this all for years without any certifications, but I have a partnership with Arlon, and that's going to be, there's going to be stuff happening in the new year that will be very cool with that. I won't say too much on the podcast, but lots of cool stuff happening behind the scenes.
The connections you pick up just from like little stuff, like, I mean, all the instructors there that are like, I feel like some of the best rappers out there, like, Justin Pate and everything. He was who was supposed to certify me, actually, but he ended up, it was a month ago, and he ended up injuring himself, and I think that's why he wasn't at SEMA. But it was John Duver was another one. He was the one.
Was he the one that trained you?
He was at the training I did at the beginning year.
Awesome.
And then
John's a great dude.
Charlie, I don't remember his last name, but Charlie, he was the one who certified that class that I was at last month. Charlie something. But
okay, sweet.
Yeah, and it's like, now I feel like confident enough and like they know me to like reach out to them whenever I have questions about stuff. Like that's another small aspect of it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like getting those connections with guys like that you can just reach out when you have a question is incredible. When I have questions, I reach out to you guys all the time, but then again, not much anymore. I have more so people asking me, which is funny, because I personally I try to stay humble. Yes, I have a big following, but that doesn't mean I know everything, right? Like, I have knowledge. Just like when you were asking me questions the other day, I gladly help you as much as I possibly can. That's the whole reason I do what I do with the rap showcase and what I want to do with this podcast is built to help people, and maybe people can help other people watching this and listening to this, right? Like gain some knowledge, learn things from each other, right? So I don't like the whole part of the industry because there's lots of parts of our industry where people are all hush hush. They don't want to share. They don't want to help anyone, yada yada. But I think the more you get, there's a lot of that. But I think there's also lots of guys that are willing to help and don't care if they're sharing their knowledge that they've learned over years. That's at least what I find. I've talked to lots of guys that have been doing this for years, and they're very open and willing to help. I mean, you're talking about John Duver. I've had an 3.5 hour long phone call with him one night because he was just bored in a hotel and he's like, "Hey, I want to get to know you." So he was like, "Let's have a FaceTime call." So I sat there for 3.5 hours.
He's a really good guy. I really enjoyed talking to him. He really knows his stuff. And it's crazy to see the level that he's at and like knowing that like I feel like it's so attainable, but it just takes so much effort. Like I think he's been in the industry for almost 18, 20 years, something like that. A little higher.
I think 21, 22 years.
I know when I was at the class, he kind of told the story that he was doing it with his brother and his sister for like 15 years before they got to like any level of where they're at now. Yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy to see when I'm just hitting my 1 year mark. And I feel like I'm at the point where this is like a very growing industry, but it's crazy to feel like I'm jumping on like as it's still growing.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Oh no, yeah.
It's only going up from here. Like it's growing so much since I've started.
PPF is definitely the next big thing that I'm trying to jump on though, because I really do think that is the future for most things. I know vinyl's always going to be around for the commercial side and things like that, but I think PPF, I mean, like there's just really no question the fact like it heals itself. I mean, I know that's like where it's much more expensive, but like I think vinyl will always be around, but that's going to be a huge part of it. I think that's going to take,
especially with all the new color change PPF coming.
Oh yeah, that's special and dry apply and everything. Like
yeah. So I do a lot of PPF. So if you have questions about that when you're getting into that, let me know because I think I did 10 vehicles last week. So I do a ton of PPF. Way more PPF than I do wraps these days.
That's what I hear a lot of too.
Because I have all their dealerships in my area. So once you get locked in with dealerships and auto body shops that are dealing with claims that they have to replace the PPF, you're set. So if you can get a bunch of those in your area, that's what I would suggest doing. Talking to dealerships, talking to auto body shops. Once you're ready to really commit to the PPF, go that route and just try to lock in a few of them.
I feel like a big part of like growing as a business is just I feel like when you're the one that's like starting a business, it's so scary when you get your first like client that's like, this is ridiculous, like you messed up, this, that, and the other thing. And I feel like that's like a huge part of learning and being confident in your own skills is that like even if you do like everything right except for one tiny little thing, there's always going to be someone that's like furious about it. And like it's something you have to kind of learn and grow with, like the customer service aspect of it. Because like when you're starting out, like anyone can go buy a roll of Vivid vinyl and then have a wrap shop, but it's like it takes there's so many different aspects of it to like grow long term. And I feel like the customer service side of it is huge because there's a lot of wrap shops around here that I'll end up getting clients from because like the customer service aspect of it is like almost not even there anymore because they're just so mainstream now, and they get like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like as you can actually work with a client as much from some of the other people that I've had customers come from.
Yeah, I think a big part of it is actually building those client relationships, right? Not just caring about their money, but caring about their car and actually caring about them and the end product, carrying it through all the way, not just, yeah, I want your money, yeah, I want the job done, in and out. Like, so my question: how long does it take for you to roughly do a full wrap? One guy.
So it kind of depends. What I typically tell people is, right around 3 to 5 days, because I like to have the time to, just in case if I need to redo a panel, this, that. There are definitely cars that I can do quicker. Like my personal car is a Kia, and I don't know if you've worked on like a lot of the new Kias, but they're so easy. All the panels are so small. The quarter panel isn't the same piece as the A-pillar, isn't the same piece as the side skirt. It's all like very small panels, and none of them have like crazy curves. When I did mine, I did the whole thing in 2 days.
Nice.
And I like do a significant amount of disassembly, but the cappuccino that I'm doing right now, I'm probably going to have for 5, maybe an extra, because we're doing a ceramic coating on it as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, but right around that 4 to 5 day mark.
Yeah, that's reasonable for one guy.
Yeah.
I did a full Tesla new Model 3, I think it's Model 3, full color change wrap with disassembly, and then full PPF over top of it in, I think, 4 days by myself, while doing other PPF jobs in between.
I was going to ask if you do the disassembly yourself.
I do everything. I do everything myself. I'm a one-man show in my shop. I have another guy that will help, like doing basic decal jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
But he doesn't touch the PPF or wraps. That's 100% me. So.
Yeah, I know there's not a ton of disassembly on those Teslas, but that's wild. Yeah.
No, but I do everything I can. Like I'm taking the wheel wells out, the lights, bumper, popping it all. Right. So. Yeah, that one was cool. That was with the brand new Arlon product, the new Arlon's color change film. I can't say too much about it because you can't even get it in the U.S.
Okay.
I wish you could, but you can't right now. It's only
cast?
It's only it is cast. It's
okay. I was gonna say I know you said you prefer cast, but
it's an amazing product. So it's the same as the Arlon print media I use, which is the SLX Plus, which I helped launch a few years ago when they launched that product. Super cool product, super forgiving, easy to work with product. So if you ever need a color change wrap or a printed wrap, again, if you don't want to use 3M or Avery, try SLX Plus.
Definitely. I've been trying to branch out to other color options other than just cheetah wrap, Avery, and 3M, because for cast wraps, because really Avery I feel like has the biggest color selection. 3M has like a couple color shift ones, but not much.
Yeah.
And I've just been trying to be able to find other consistently good cast vinyls. I've had a hard time. My one experience with Calendared was Vinyl Frog. I don't know if you ever used them before, but it was the worst. The worst.
I have.
My first terrible client. I had no clue what Calendared. I didn't even know what Calendared film was. I never heard those two words before.
Yeah.
And I got the whole wrap done. I took it out in the sun, and every single panel popped up. It was wild. It was freaking out.
Yeah, I don't blame you, because that's very disappointing. Yeah. I've done one wrap with Vinyl Frog too, and turned out okay. I had just one bumper that had a few issues popping up, but was my first full wrap with Calendar film too. I was a little safer, I guess. Maybe I had more experience. But
I'd love to go back now, having the experience of this printed stuff and different things, knowing how to stretch.
Yeah.
And like that, because that was one of the biggest things that I feel like I've learned is how to stretch things, just even little stuff, when you're doing a spoiler or anything. I would get it all laid out and then be trying to stretch and pull and with the squeegee tuck it in, but it's if you just pull really hard horizontally, it wraps itself. And that was a huge tip that saved me so much time, that I feel like I did within the last maybe 6 months that I learned. And that was,
especially if you're using cast films.
Oh yeah.
They're incredible. The calendar films are getting better, and it's a matter of learning how to use them. Just like Justin Pate has said, it all depends on knowing the product, knowing each product, what its properties are, how it works, how you can stretch it, how you can manipulate it, right? You can do cool wraps, very well done wraps with calendar films. I personally just prefer cast.
Yeah, I am the same way.
If I can use a cast film, I'm going to use a cast film.
Sometimes I have people come and be like, hey, I already bought the wrap. It's tiny bot. Can you put it on for me? And I'll be like, I'm sorry, we don't install those. I'd love to get another roll just to have more practice, just to have more confidence and knowing that it could come out okay, because they do have color options that cast films can't touch.
Yeah.
That's really, I feel in the only upside. I mean, obviously
and their clarity, the they have pretty much no orange peel.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
So
Yes,
they have better colors, no orange peel, and the
yeah.
highest gloss that you'll get out of a vinyl. I mean, 3M's new high gloss is pretty good.
I've been wanting to try that. I ordered another roll of just regular 3M gloss, and they were telling me about the high gloss, and I've been wanting to try it, but it's a significant amount more.
Yeah.
I think $400 or $500 more. But
yeah, I haven't tried it. I've just seen it before, and it is
Yeah.
crazy glossy. So
have you used the new 3M PPF?
I only used Defense Plus PPF. It's my buddy's brand that he started years ago, and literally across the street from me. So
Oh wow, okay.
yeah.
The new color change line, but it's supposed to be really great, but it's very expensive. I think it's like $4,000 a roll.
Oh, crazy! Holy.
And it's dry apply. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like, I feel like at that point you'd have to be charging people like, at least $8,000 for a full wrap,
Yeah.
or for a PPF, and like, I don't know. There's not many people that want that, especially because at that point I feel like you're getting into like exotics, and most people with exotics don't want to change the color; they want to protect the color. So I don't know. I'd love to try it, but I don't see there being a huge market for it for like the average shop.
No, you're not going to sell that. Maybe where you are. In my area, no one's buying colored PPF. Like I have a hard enough time selling people on full body PPF, clear PPF here, let alone trying to sell them a full color change PPF. Like
absolutely.
So if I'm doing a color change, I have to do it with a vinyl because people are not willing to pay color PPF. I guess maybe my most recent Tesla, the guy that I did the full color change and then the full PPF, he might have been willing to, but couldn't get the color that he wanted. So then we deal with what we got. We do a double wrap. Yeah. Speaking of like color PPF, like that roll right here, that's another brand. I've been sent a bunch of them, but I personally don't fully trust color PPF.
Okay.
Once I see it's on the market for a few more years, maybe, and when I've played with it more. But like I say, I don't have, in my area, I live in a small city. We don't have the market.
How long has PPF, like the market of PPF, even been around? Because every time I hear like, 10-year warranty, this, like, I don't even know if it's been around for 10 years.
Oh yeah, it's been around for more than 10.
Okay, probably like more popular recently.
It's only been like super popular, I would say, for the past 10 years.
Okay,
but it's been around for probably 20 plus. Now you're getting me curious because now I don't even know actually exactly how long it's been, but it's been a while.
Well, I know I feel like PPF's a broad term because you go buy a brand new car, they have door edge guards and cups. Like I guess that's PPF, but not like the same. I don't know, but yeah.
Normally that's just some cheap garbage PPF.
Oh yeah.
Have you done any PPF, or is it just you're wanting to get into it?
Some small things. Like I did because before I was like full time my own business, I was doing a little bit of contract work at another shop, and I've done some like A pillars, B pillars. I did a fender. I like helped out on some hoods and things like that, but not any like full cars or anything like that.
Yeah, like I say, when you are ready, I'll tell you everything that I know that you need to know. I have people asking all the time about which slip solution I use. Don't use alcohol for your tack solution.
Really? Okay.
It burns the adhesive. So if you ever have like dry spots and like hazing on your adhesive after putting your tack on, that's the alcohol in your tack solution burning it.
Really?
So if you can avoid using it, do it. Just use hot distilled water.
Okay. How do you keep it hot?
Honestly, I have a thermos, or not a thermos, a kettle. There we go.
Oh,
yeah. So I have a kettle sitting in my PPF bay, and I just have water. I just every now and then go turn it on, make sure it's staying hot. Yeah. And in my spray bottle, quarter weighs with regular water, and the rest is filled with hot. So it's not like boiling hot, but it's nice and hot, and that is all I use for tack solution. And I've been using that for the past few years. That's all I've used, and I learned that from my buddy Eric from Drive Protected. He's switched over to that years ago, and that's been amazing for us. So
yeah, the place I was at, they were doing half and half alcohol and water, and then for their slip was just water, and then Johnson and Johnson. Yeah. So
that's all I'm using for baby shampoo, cheapest baby shampoo you can get. So slip solution easy, but also distilled water. If you can use distilled water, it's a cleaner solution. So I go through a lot of distilled water. But yeah, that's
my biggest thing that I feel like in terms of vinyl that I hadn't done recently was the printed, but I was asking about that earlier.
But wherever they can find you, where you are, your name, everything, give yourself a free shout out here, and then
Sure. Thank you. The name of the shop is Limitless Auto Designs. Instagram is Limitless Auto Designs _AZ. And our website, limitlessautodesigns.com. It's all basically the same, but I think that's everything. Yeah. I know I'll send you everything to like have in the description of it. But
throw it all at me, man. Let's drop it in here and give us a quick description of what you all offer.
Color changes are the specialty, color change vinyl wraps. But we do a lot of different stuff like underglow, ceramic coatings, different kind of mechanical stuff like suspension, exhaust, different things like that. Because we're kind of trying to be all around, just get your customization needs taken care of. Because that's what I grew up doing before I did vinyl.
Sweet.
Yeah, most specialties vinyl, but a lot of different stuff we do.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, man. Appreciate your time.
Course, yeah, I really appreciate being on here. It was crazy. I've never seen one of your live videos before. And the other night I got the notification. I was like, oh, I'll click on it. And then I was like, oh my God, what a coincidence that you're like the one time I click on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah. Well, we got you to be the first one. So
yeah,
that's
really
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Of course, you as well.
Take care.